Welcome back, guys, to my channel, and today I'm gonna show you how to simplify exponents. And so in the first example, we have parenthesis 4x to the power of 5, and then y to the third, parenthesis x squared, y to the power of negative 2, and then 6 times x to the power of 0. So what we do in this situation is we multiply all the exponents together. So, excuse me. So when an exponent is multiplied by an exponent, they get added. And so, let's see. So we have 4 multiplied 6. We have 4 times 6, which equals 24. So that's going to be our coefficient for the answer. We have x fifth times x squared times x to the power of 0, which equals x seventh. And remember, anything that is to the power of 0 besides 0 will always be 1. Again, anything that is raised to the power of 0 is 0 1 except when it's 0. And so for a y's, y cubed times y to the power of negative 2, which just gives us y. And so we put them together. Usually, teachers will want you to put it in alphabetical order, but it's a minor detail. If you switch it up, it doesn't matter in math. If your teacher wants you to put it in alphabetical order, it should be 24, 7th, and then just y. Sorry, guys. So for our second example, we have x to the power of 7 times 3x 0. Now, when we raise an exponent by an exponent, they get multiplied instead of added. And so because these are in parentheses, it's all 1. And so what we really get is x to the power of 7 times 1, which is just x to the 7th. Because all of this is in parentheses, it makes it a lot better, a lot easier to do. Because now this just equals 1. And so all you do is x to the power of 7 multiply it by 1, which is for the next example, we're gonna do negative 8x to the power of negative 2, y to the power of 0 times 7x to the power of negative 3 times y cubed. And multiply the coefficients. And then multiply the x's together. I'm going to color code these. So x to the power of negative 2 times x to the power of negative 3 equals we add those. So we're adding negative 3, which is the same as subtracting. So that gives us x to the power of negative 5. And we take y. Sorry, I'm trying to open my Sharpie here. Alright, my blue Sharpie doesn't want to open. Y to the power of 0 times y3. So we add them, which is still y to the power of 3. Let's see if my there you go, my Sharpie finally wants to open. And so now we just put them together, which is 56 times x to the power of 5th. And remember this, whenever you have a negative exponent, you send it down or up. In this case, we're going to send it down because it's on the top instead of the bottom. Now, a good way to remember this that most teachers use, they'll say, cross the line, change the sign. That's a mnemonic device that you can use. And so we just take this right here, we send it down. We send it down to the denominator. So instead, our answer is 56 times y cubed over x to the power of 5. Whenever we have an exponent that is a negative, we send it down. Always remember that. Excuse me. Thank you if you said bless you. Alright. For a fourth example, let's do 4a squared bc to the power of negative 4 times 2a to the power of negative 4. And then b to the power of negative 3. Again, multiply the coefficients. Sorry guys, I'm almost gonna sneeze there. Take a squared, multiply it by a to the power of negative 4. 2 plus negative 4 equals a to the power of negative 2. So it's just b to the power of 1 times b to the power of negative 3. So that gives us b to the power of negative 2. And then finally we get just c negative 4 times 1 equals c to the negative 4. Alright, so our answer is 8 times a times b to the power of negative 2 times c to the power of negative 4. So what we do is we take everything to the power of the negative and we send it down, because a times a to the power of negative b is the same as 1 over a b. And so our final answer is 8 over a squared, b squared, c to the power of 4. For our fifth example, let's do 7v to the power of 0 times negative u to the power of negative 6, and then v cubed, and the whole equation is squared. And so, again, what we do is we distribute everything. We distribute it to the coefficient, we distribute it to all of the variables. And since we're raising it, we're gonna be multiplying the exponents instead of adding them, because we're raising the exponents by an exponent. Alright, so 7 squared is 49. V to the power of 0 squared is just equal to 1. So it's basically, it doesn't matter because it's basically just 7 times 1. So it's all the same thing. Negative u to the power of negative 6 squared equals, we square the negative, and 2 negatives make a positive. And so that u becomes positive. Again, if a negative number is squared, it'll always be positive. And so it'll be u to the power of negative 12. And then we take v cubed squared. That gives us v to the power of 6. This v is useless. We don't need it. Now we put them together. 49 times u to the power of negative 12 times v to the power of 6. Again, take this, send it down. So our final answer should be 49 times v to the power of 6 over u to the power of 12. For our next example, this is going to be a bit of a tricky one, but I think we can do it. I know we can do it. 3x to the power of 0, y squared, all raised to the power of negative 2, divided by x to the power of negative 3, y to the 5th power, times negative x to the power of negative 6 times y 4th. Alright, this isn't going to be easy to do, but we can do it. We distribute the negative 2 to everything, and that includes our coefficient, which is 3. And so, show the distribution, and again, since we're raising an exponent by an exponent, we're going to be multiplying the exponents together, and so in the end we get 3 to the power of negative 2, x to the power 0, which is useless, and y to the power of negative 4. We right now can just send this down, and so far our answer would be y to, actually we can even send this down, and our answer would be 1 over 9 times y to the 4th. But to keep it simple, let's just write 3 to the power of negative 2 and y to the power of negative 4, because we still have this section to solve. So x to the power of negative 3 times negative x to the power of negative 6. That gives us negative x to the power of negative 9 on the bottom. And then we have y, right? Y to the power of 5 times y to the power of 4. That gives us y to the power of 9. And so now we just put it. So on the bottom, so far we have. So on the bottom we have right now negative x to the power of negative 9 and y to the power of 9. So let's send these down. And let's send this up. If the coefficient is negative, that doesn't matter. That doesn't change it at all. But if the exponent is negative, you have to send it up. And so you should get x 9th 9 y 13th, because since this is going down, it's going to be y 9th times y 4th, which equals y 13th. And so our final answer would be this right here. For our last example, let's just do a simple one. When I say simple, I mean really hard. Oops. Let's do 5x squared y to the negative 3 and then z to the power of 0 over 2x cubed y squared times z squared. And so we can divide our exponents. So we would take that. When we're dividing exponents, we subtract them. So x squared minus x cubed equals, that should be divided by, equals x to the power of negative 1. And so we can cross that out and rewrite it as x to the power of negative 1. Say y, negative 3, divided by y squared, give you y to the power of negative 5, z to the power of 0, divided by z squared, give you z to the power of negative 2. Alright, and so let's put our equation together now. So 5, 2, and then because all of these are negative, we send them all down. So it'd be 2, just x, y to the power of negative 5, z squared. That is your final answer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I especially hope that you learn. Again, if you have comments or questions or math requests, if you have math requests, for example, you want to know how to do like matrices, I will do that for you. I will be there for you and help you with your math, as long as it's not like calculus or something. But anyways, email me at mrmathymath@gmail.com. That's in the description. And yeah, thank you. thanks for watching. Bye.